This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studios, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host, flying solo today. We're glad you're with us. Open phones at 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. John is in Atlanta, Georgia. Hey, John, welcome to The Ramsey Show.
How you doing today, Dave?
Better than I deserve, sir. What's up in your world?
Dave, what it is, I work for my father, and we're in the construction business. Pretty large company. We've got 40 employees, about a $7 million top line gross. But anyways, I'm 29 years old. I've been working with them for 10 years now, and I'm working around 60 to 65 hours a week. And I'm wondering, I've talked to him about scaling back my hours, but he, continues to emphasize, you need to put your time in, you need to work. And financially, I have all my ducks in a row like you teach. I've got emergency funds well more than what you teach, and out of debt. And I'm just kind of wondering, am I wrong for wanting to drop my hours back because I have a wife and 2 kids, and just kind of wanting to know your thoughts on that.
Yeah, the only time I work that amount of hours or ask somebody to work that amount of hours is for a sprint, a short season, to knock something out. Now, the short season could be for a year. It could even be for 2 years, but it's, while we're trying to get something up and moving, or there's an emergency, and it falls under the heading of, country sayings, but, make hay while the sun shines, right? And so if you got to put in 16-hour days, get the hay out of the field before the rain kills it, and kills your dadgum crop, you got to go do that. Shut up, And if you, and the other one is get the ox out of the ditch, meaning that there's something's broken. Right? It's something's, and we got to get we got to get that item fixed. So if the servers go down around here, my guys are here at 2 a.m, but they're not here at 2 a.m. every week. It's because something broke, right? Yeah. And I'm not here because I can't even spell server, so it wouldn't do any good for me to be here unless I handed somebody some coffee. But so the question is this a way of life, or is this the fact that we're in the middle of a construction boom and you guys need to get the hay out of the field?
Well, it's a way of life. I mean, we've been doing it. Like I said, it's, and he's worked 60, 70 hours his whole life, and that's just what he does.
Well, I like hardworking people, okay, as opposed to lazy people. They're handy to have around. But when I'm coaching small business people, if I was coaching your all small business, based on what you just told me, I would say you have a breakdown in staffing. Whatever it is you are doing with that 60 hours, you need to hire somebody to do part of it. If all of that time is spent in leadership, that means you guys don't have enough leadership in the organization. You need to put some supers in there and have some money come out of your pocket so you get a quality of life back. If you're in there swinging a hammer, then you need to get somebody else in there swinging a hammer part of the time, or whatever it is that you could get your life back. Because, when I started this thing, Sharon Ramsey will tell you, she was a single mom for 2 years. Freaking 16-hour days, man. I was busting it. But that was for 18 to 24 months to get the airplane off the ground. But once it's in the air, you can throttle back. It doesn't take as much fuel to keep it flying as it does to get it off the ground. And so that's the distinction I make. But if your dad is signing you up for 30 more years of workaholism, I'll pass. Yeah.
Well, I sure appreciate it, Dave. Just been stuck on the fence and just trying to kind of just get some, I trust your opinion.
Well, here's the thing. He's not as good at his job when he's working 60 hours a week, year in and year out, because you're freaking tired. Mm-hmm. Your brain doesn't work as good. And so you're not as good a leader. You're not as good an estimator. You're not as good at whatever it is you're doing during that time because you're tired. You can do it for a sprint, But you can't do this over an extended period of time and get the maximum use out of the business. It's a bad business decision. But, I mean, I understand. I grew up in a household where the answer to everything's work. You know, shut up and go to work. You know, so I get it. I get and I'm kind of that way wired inside, but I've had to learn to be a little bit more sophisticated business owner and say, if I have a team that's working 60 hours, that means I've understaffed the area.
Yeah.
And I'll get better efficiency and better quality results out if I'll properly staff. It's kind of like, you know, never taking off on Sunday. Take off on Sunday. God said rest a day. You know why? Because your productivity goes up dramatically in the other 6 days if you rest a day. If you bust all the way through 7 days, you don't get the productivity studies tell us you don't get the results. And it's the same thing here. So I would make the case to your dad if I were you. Dad, we need to rethink this. This is what got us here. And I honor you for your hard work all these years. You built this with the sweat of your brow and the calluses on your hand. And I love you, and I honor you, and I respect you. But our business has grown to a point we need to reach a better level of sophistication where we can have a life. And, oh, by the way, we can't attract good quality people if we work them like donkeys. If we send them into the salt mines and don't let them out. You know, nobody wants to work for us because of this. And so that's, you know, I think you can make the case to him, but if he absolutely just says, no, I own it, shut up, you're going to do what I say, then, dude, I guess you're going to have to hit the eject button, but that'll be real painful for him and you because his dream is for you to work with him. And it's a joy to work with your son when you can, or your daughter when you can. I have the joy of doing both. And, you know, there's no question you have to look at this through some good, strong eyes. Good question, man. We appreciate you joining us. Not something I usually have to coach someone on. Less work. Usually have to coach them on more work. You know, it's... Oh, man. Open phones at 888-825-5225. The Bible says I've been young and I've been old, but I've never seen the righteous or their seed begging bread. Also says the diligent prosper. Diligence is excellence in the ordinary over time. Diligent people prosper. I've been young and I've been old, but I've never seen the righteous or their seed, their kids begging bread. You just don't want to read Proverbs unless you understand work ethic. Because the Bible's really clear that work is where money comes from. And it's also where dignity comes from. The fact that you throw your shoulders back and move some stuff around out in the marketplace builds your self-confidence. It builds your personal value. The tipping point is when you're doing it 80 hours a week. So that's why we don't have any trouble hiring developers. We can never get enough of them because we're growing so fast. But we get these Ruby on Rails guys and these platform architecture guys because we work 40 hours a week. In the tech world, they all work 80 hours a week. They work those guys into the dadgum dirt. And they come to work here and they get to do work that matters. And they're here 40 hours a week. So we're a highly attractive position for people in the tech world. By the way, just check, we're hiring at RamseySolutions.com. Check it out. This is The Ramsey Show. What makes our show unique is that we genuinely care about our listeners. We're intentional about choosing the best advertisers to recommend. Blinds.com is no exception. They offer high-quality window treatments at unbelievable prices, and they make it simple to shop blinds, shades, and interior shutters with easy online ordering, free shipping, and a guaranteed perfect fit. Go to Blinds.com and take advantage of this week's special savings. This is The Ramsey Show. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. One of the beautiful things about living in Nashville and doing business here is I've gotten to meet really cool, really famous people and become friends with a few of them, and one of them just stopped by a minute ago. So Michael W. Smith is in the studio, 45 Dove Awards, more than 15 million albums, Mr. Christian music for sure. The worship music and stuff is absolutely unbelievable. And he's got a new book out that K-Love did with him, The Way of the Father, just in time for Father's Day. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good.
Good. Pull that up just a little bit. There you go.
Good to see you.
You too, man.
And it's been a while.
Has been. I think we bumped into each other on the golf course the other day.
We did.
You were coming out and I was going in.
Yeah.
Something like that. But that was in the middle of COVID. There was nobody out there.
I know.
And we were
but you and I were.
lone ones out there swinging, hanging out. So this is a great Lessons from My Dad, Truths About God. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but I've heard a lot of your testimony, a lot of your story over the years because we worked together on a lot of different things, that you grew up in West Virginia. So tell us about Paul Smith, dad in West Virginia.
Yeah.
There's got to be some stuff there.
There's a lot of stuff. He came from that great generation that when you were sick, you went to work.
Yeah.
You know, blue collar, oil refinery, swing shift days, then evenings, then all night. And he hardly ever missed coaching me in baseball. And Dave, he was the kindest man I'd ever known who happened to be my dad. And I knew one day I would write a book about him. When he got dementia in 2011, that's when I started to recollect all these amazing stories about my dad. And he passed, went to heaven in November 15, and 2020 was a good time to write a book.
Yeah.
So it was a good
time. Time on our hands.
Yeah.
Wow. So, little known fact, you actually are good at baseball as well as music.
Well, I was as a kid. I wanted to play for the Cincinnati Reds. I was the Big Red Machine days. My dad used to take me to Crosley Field.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that really shows you how old I am. So
coming out of West Virginia. So
yeah,
he had a dream of you playing baseball.
I think he did. He really had a dream to play baseball. Matter of fact, he was a great ball player, and I think I was a pretty good ball player because of him. He went to the minor leagues, but he made a decision one day that he had to come and take care of his mom. His father died of a heart attack when he was 16, but his dream was to play Major League Ball. But he came back and took care of his mom, and so that's the kind of man my dad was. So he kind of lived out that dream through me a little bit, but he never ever pressured me to stay in baseball.
So when you went music versus baseball, it wasn't a problem?
Oh, he became my PR agent, just telling everybody how great I was all the time. I said, Dad, you got to stop that. You don't have to do that all the time. He'd say, why not, son? You're the best. He affirmed me my whole life. Yeah.
So I remember you telling the story. We had an event that you and Amy and Stephen Curtis did with us together, which was like having the Mount Rushmore of Christian music right there in one event.
I remember that night.
Yeah, it was pretty iconic. And I remember you telling the story on, I believe it was Friends. I believe whatever was that the first big hit that you wrote like a bazillion songs before one of them caught, right?
Well, I wrote a lot of songs. They were pretty bad. I was on the learning curve in the early days.
But I mean, didn't you have you had a seriously large catalog before anything hit?
Yeah, I had 150 songs or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like you just sat down and lightning struck on the first song and you're a multi-platinum.
No.
That's not how it worked.
No, it kind of was a slow.
What made me think about that was his work ethic was transferred to you.
It was.
Because you applied that to your songwriting.
Yeah.
And because a lot of people don't realize songwriting is work like a lot of other things.
And it's hard to write a good song.
Being in the studio and getting something arranged and getting it right. I know nothing about music, but I know a lot of folks in the music business, and they work.
Right.
And you're on the road, it's work.
Right.
I mean, it's fun, and you get you do a whole lot of stuff to get to spend 3.5 minutes on the stage.
Right. Yeah. A lot of my work ethic comes from my dad.
Yeah.
And he was a hard worker. The way he loved my mom, loved my sister and I, his community. He worked in the homeless shelter. He's always giving himself away. The thing that used to drive me a little crazy, I built 2 houses with my dad. And if it was off, was a perfectionist.
Oh.
If it was off just by like 1/30 seconds of an inch, he would take it apart. I said, Dad, it's okay. Nobody's going to notice. No, it's not right. It's not right. So that was the only thing that drove me crazy about my dad. But his work ethic was pretty incredible.
The book is The Way of the Father by Michael W. Smith. Lessons from My Dad, Truths About God. So how did he transfer truths about God to you?
He showed me what God was like. I think on so many levels. He's always was for me my whole life. It was never based on performance. You know, I got that whole story at the beginning of the book where I was on this little league team and he's coaching us, and we had 16 games and we were 0-15. We were awful. And if you won, you got to go to Dairy Queen. And we got beat 30-0 that first game. 30-0. I remember it. I was 8 years old.
Thrashing.
And my dad walked in that dugout. You know, we got our heads hung like it was the end of the world. My dad walked in and says, "Boys, we'll get him next time. Let's go to Dairy Queen."
Oh.
And every time we went to Dairy Queen 15 times in a row. And then that last game, we won. I remember I remember every detail. I was on second base. Somebody hit a run. I was scoring run 3-2, and we won the game. And we were just thought we'd won the World Series. My dad walks in the dugout and says, "Boys, great job. Let's go to Dairy Queen." So we go to Dairy Queen. The times we lost, the winning team would be in there going, "What are you guys doing here? We just annihilated you." But he took us to Dairy Queen 16 times. And I tell that story because he never based his love for me and my teammates. It was never based on performance. He just affirmed us all growing up.
So the Michael W. Smith, your soundtrack, your music is the soundtrack for so many of our faith walk, so many of our lives. Your family, 5 adult kids, 16 grandkids.
They call me G Daddy.
7, man. Papa Dave's got 7, but I ain't got 16. Wow.
You can catch up.
Be fruitful, man. I'm telling you. Do your family members and did your dad, did they grasp how big your music career had become? How many? Because it went so exponential. You've touched people you'll never see, never hear. I mean, there's just bazillions of connection points out there, right? Did they get it, and did he get it?
Yes, and yes. But you would, I live a very normal life, but I live an extraordinary life too. Mm-hmm. But at home, I'm just dad. Mm-hmm. Just dad. I'm just I don't have bodyguards, and I don't live some crazy lifestyle of the rich and famous. I'm just dad, and I go to the store like everybody else does, So if you would talk to my kids, I think they would all tell you, I think this is true, that they were more important to me than my career. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So we always did the 2-week rule, never away from home more than 2 weeks ever, and we've held on to that rule. So that's why I've been married almost 40 years this September.
Yeah, me too. Me too. And because both of us married up.
Yes,
too.
we did.
That's what that was.
We did.
So talk about him. I love the scene in the book where he's dancing in the aisle while you're singing.
Yeah, I would look out there and all these, back in the day, all these kids are just going crazy. And there's this old guy out there go, "Who's that guy?" And I go, "Oh my gosh, it's my dad." He's out there singing every word to every song and dancing with these teenagers.
I love it. Fatherhood is something that's going to be one of the things as it comes back, as there is a revival in fatherhood that heals this culture. We need our dads.
Yes, we do.
We need our dads. The Way of the Father, Michael W. Smith. Lessons from My Dad, Truths About God. Pick it up. I highly recommend anything my friend here does, and this book is no exception. Be sure you check it out. This is The Ramsey Show.
We were drawn to Christian Healthcare Ministries because we both had young families and we wanted to have more children. And we had also just started a real estate company and needed to find healthcare coverage that would meet our needs. We were attracted to CHM because of its low monthly costs and the ability to negotiate medical costs down.
Established in 1981 and accredited by the Better Business Bureau, CHM is here to meet the needs of your growing family or small business. Check us out at chministries.org/budget.
We absolutely believe in it.
In the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage, Joshua and Ashley are with us. Hey, guys, how are you?
Hi.
Hi, Dave.
Welcome, welcome. Where do you guys live?
Middleport, New York, which isn't quite Buffalo. It's not quite Rochester. It's just out there in the middle. So go Bills.
Middleport, New York. All right, cool. I got it. So welcome to Nashville. That's a bit of a haul, I can tell you that.
Yeah,
Yes.
long drive.
So how much did you guys pay off?
$87,000 in 26 months.
Good for you. And your range of income during that time?
100 to 110.
All right. What do y'all do for a living?
I am a food scientist for a chocolate manufacturer.
Yum.
Yes.
So am I.
I
Yeah,
just
it's a lot of
work
fun.
in IT.
I just work in IT. After that, how do you follow that?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Oh my gosh! Way to go, you guys. So, how much? What kind of debt was this? $87,000.
It was our house.
House.
Looking at weird people.
Yes. We've waited a long time to hear you say that.
I love it. How old are you two?
I'm 33.
I'm 32.
And you have a paid-for house
We sure
sir.
do.
in Middleport, New York. What's
Yes.
it worth?
110,
Probably.
120.
Yeah, 110, 120.
And it's yours.
It is.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love it. Wow. Excellent job, guys. So what in the world happened? What inspired you guys to be so weird?
It was a long journey. Back several years ago, when we were living just outside of St. Louis, working hard every day and just didn't have the money to do what we needed to do and really didn't understand what was going on. And we said we need to make a plan because we knew eventually we wanted to move back to live with our family, and we weren't going to be able to do that if we didn't get our finances in order. So we just we heard about your book, read a few pages, tried to get, and really weren't on the same page. So we kind of hemmed and hawed for a few years on that and didn't make much progress. And then we got the opportunity to move back home. And from that point on, we said, okay, we really got to make a change here. So just after our youngest daughter was born, I had an opportunity to go back to work. And it wasn't something that I was expecting, but we said, this is what we need to get that house paid off and to do what we want to do. And if I work and sacrifice that time with my children, then we're going to make our money work.
Yeah,
And
we're going to get traction.
We're going to do what we need to do.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think it was a lot of chaos. We always had good intentions, but no plan.
Yeah.
It was never a separate.
So what
separate bank
about
account.
that decision made you guys get on the same page when you didn't before?
I think it was, we went to a wedding on New Year's Eve. And, we were talking about what are our goals for this year? What are we going to do? And, Josh said, well, this might sound a little crazy, but we really need to pay the house off. When we moved back, we had paid off all the rest of our debt. And, it was just that mortgage. And we still felt that burden of it. And he said, we really need to make this happen. And so on the drive home from that wedding on New Year's Day, we got out the Every Dollar app and we built our first budget together. We both had kind of tried to do things here and there on our own before. And we said, nope, this is it. And it probably took us the whole car ride an hour.
First one was rough.
And we said, okay, we got this now. And, we fumbled for the first few months, but that was it. Once we had that plan and we knew where we had to go, we said, we got this.
Now,
we can
I will
do it.
say, too, that she had gotten your book before and read it while we were still by the Illinois side. I'm not much of a book reader to begin with, so I was like, okay, whatever. It wasn't until we moved home, I heard you on the radio, and I came home like, you got to listen to this guy.
Yeah.
This is genius. She's like, I read his book. That's the one in Illinois. I
tried to.
I was like, oh, yeah. Well, there we go.
Yeah.
There's that.
The combination between the radio show and the book.
Well,
it
one's
worked
an
out.
audio learner, one's a print
Yes,
learner.
yes.
It's okay. Everybody's got their own way of getting at it. That's awesome.
Then we
Well,
found the Every Dollar app, and that just turned everything around. Just
Yep.
Every Dollar got rid of the credit cards and just did the debit card and one bank account, and from there it was like
Boom.
game on. It was crazy.
well,
Yep.
it
How
was a
significant.
process. Yeah.
Yes.
What took us 9 years loans and a car loan. We did our house in 2 years, and we make less now than we did before. So go figure that, right?
Yeah. Well,
Yep.
It's amazing what a plan does.
It's the difference in being on the same page,
Yep.
having a
That too.
plan, and sticking to the plan.
Yep.
Yeah, that's everything.
Yes.
So you don't have a payment in the world.
Nope.
How's that feel?
Oh, it just light. There's just nothing holding us back, and it took us a while to get here, but it's something that we did together. And now when I turn and look at him, I feel unstoppable. Like, we can do anything together. We've done this, and there's going to be more things that are going to come our way, and we're going to get it. We're going to get through it because we know how to work together now.
And I had you plugged into my ear for about 2 years working, just every day listening to these podcasts. And it was awesome. Those debt-free screens helped me go crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, my work got the most out of me as they could have, 200% of me probably
Yeah,
listening
definitely.
to that podcast stuff.
Every
But
overtime opportunity.
the big thing, the big why, right? And I got 3 whys sitting there to the right of me right now. And let me tell you, that'll spark something for you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, bring them up. What are their names and ages?
All right, so we've got Noah, Hunter, and Evelyn. And Noah sometimes is a little shy, so he might choose to sit back. So this is Hunter is 5, and Evelyn is almost 3.
And she's not shy.
She
Oh.
is not. No,
She'll
not
let
at
me
all.
laugh. She don't care.
She's ready for the camera.
Yeah.
Ready for her, too. She's cute. Well done. Well done, you guys. Well, we're so proud of you guys. I mean, you are absolutely stellar. Early 30s with a paid-for house, not a payment in the world, and, making $110,000. You guys can do anything you want to do. Like you said, you're unstoppable now.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Stronger than ever.
Who was your biggest cheerleader outside of you guys?
Our families were very supportive. I mean, Josh took every opportunity he could for overtime, and our parents stepped in, helped with babysitting, and just said, "Go, you can do this. You got this."
Actually, I had
and
some coworkers I would converse about you, and actually probably got them on your plan too somehow.
I love it. Well,
It's
like the fact
healthy
that you
discussion.
won.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I paid off my house. I mean, how do you debate this?
Right, right.
It kind of like done then. That's like done. Mic
Yep.
drop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it was healthy discussion, right? Like,
Oh, yeah,
is,
yeah.
Hey, what are you doing? What am I doing? Like, how much did you get in your car loan? Awesome. Keep going.
Yeah.
It's
Little
like
kid.
it's a nice friendly race, I guess.
Yeah, accountability, encouragement,
Exactly.
competition,
Yes.
all that. Yeah,
It's
very
wonderful.
good. Good stuff. All right, we've got a copy of The Legacy Journey for you because that's the next chapter. Like you said, these are your whys, your legacy, and make sure you change your whole family tree. Never go back in debt. Got a copy of the Total Money Makeover for you to give to somebody. Pay it forward, and maybe you can get them to read 2 pages, and then they'll be standing here a few years later with a paid-for house. You never know. It's a
Yeah.
magical book. You read 2 pages, you get all these results. Pretty cool. Good stuff. I'm so proud of y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well done. You're an
We appreciate you
inspiration.
having all this material for us.
Well,
Yeah.
you're an inspiration. Joshua and Ashley, Noah, Hunter, and Evelyn from Middleport, New York. $87,000 paid off, house and everything in 26 months, making 100 to 110. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
Right. 3,
3,
2,
2,
1.
1.
We're debt-free. That is how it's done. That's how it's done. Wow. If your why has some nobility to it, if why you're doing something is more noble than just selfishness, it drives you harder. It'll make you sacrifice deeper. If the only reason you want to be out of debt is so you can get rich, so you can buy a filet mignon for yourself, that's not evil. That's not bad. It just doesn't motivate you like looking into your kids' eyes and going, their kids are going to be changed because of what I'm doing right now. When you start talking about changing your family tree, if you're a parent and you have like a heart that beats in your chest, it changes your level of commitment. It changes your level of sacrifice to win. If your why has some nobility, then your why has some power. This is The Ramsey Show. This is The Ramsey Show. We're glad you're with us, America. Thank you for joining us. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Jennifer's in Minneapolis. Hi, Jennifer. How are you?
Hi, Dave. It's an honor to speak with you today.
You too. How can I help?
We have a question about baby step 3B because we want to move significantly up in house. Our question is, in this market, we understand contingent offers are generally not accepted, so we have been advised to consider a bridge loan. Mm-hmm. What would you say?
I would say the idiot that advised you that should agree to pay the payments.
Okay.
Here's the problem. Stuff like that doesn't work unless everything goes perfect, and everything never goes perfect.
Okay.
Okay, let's just pretend that something like a pandemic happened.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, I never experienced anything like that. But let's say you were right in the middle of this and you had one foot on the boat and one on the dock and the boat was leaving. You know where you're going to end up, and that's in the lake. Meaning you're going to end up with a bridge loan payment, a house payment, and another house payment.
Okay. Can I give you our numbers and our scenario, and you can tell me kind of what you
What I would do is sell your house and go rent something while you buy if a contingency won't work.
Okay.
And that's what I personally have done, by the way. Because see, I'm worse off than you because I don't borrow money at all.
Sure.
And so if I have to have the money out of the house to buy the next house, I can't buy it until I get the other one closed. And so that entails a double move or a contingency offer.
Okay.
And so that's the only way around it. And I've done that. Sharon and I have done that. Not a whole bunch of times, and it's not ideal. It's not my favorite. But and if you can get a really good, solid offer on your house that's a cash offer, because the market's so hot, people are waiving appraisals, they're waiving everything, and they're just making offers, right? Waiving inspections, they're doing everything. And you get a good, solid cash offer on your house, then you can make a really good, solid contingency offer and talk them into just waiting until yours closes right quick, because they ought to be able to close them both within a week or two. Mm-hmm. And just run them back-to-back dominoes. It can be done, but it is very hard. It is very hard. And it's hard. It's more work for your poor little realtor, bless their little heart. And so they're going to get two commissions, the sale of yours and the purchase on the other side. And so they're just going to have to do their little work instead of you getting a bridge loan and getting caught in the middle. Please don't do that. Everything that can go wrong will. You're going to meet Mr. Murphy. John is with us in Cincinnati. Hey, John, how are you?
Thanks for taking my call. This call is more about an opportunity and with the real estate market. So my situation is I'm a pastor here in Cincinnati. I've got about 4 or 5 more years till my wife and I retire. Right now, our net worth is probably about 1.5. We own our house. Thank you. We own our house in Cincinnati. Its market value is about $500. Our only debt is our second home in Florida, and we built the home 2 years ago for $260,000. And the realtors down there, obviously the market's very, very hot, and the current market value of that house right now is about $450,000. Now, they're getting cash offers, and it's only the 1,400 square foot house. I think our long-term plan is when we do retire, we want to move to Florida, get something a little bit bigger for our family. But I'm at the point right now where I'm just kind of like trying to discern, should I be selling my house, maybe take that money, pay off, obviously the mortgage we paid off, and put that money more towards investments and, see what the market correction does. It's just, when the house was worth $350, I was like tempted, and then it went up to $400, and now it's up to $450. So just looking for some guidance about what would be the best thing for us to do, especially looking at retirement in 4 years.
Is this property like beach property?
No, actually, it is it's in Southwest Florida, and they have put in obviously some nice developments. It's a resort property, but it's single-family houses, several resort centers.
The most volatile type of real estate is resort property. Beach, mountain, resort, whatever. In other words, it goes up super fast and down super fast, much more so than traditional housing does. Does that make sense? Like I've got a lake house, and right now there's just absolutely no property for sale on that lake, and people will just give you anything. It's just because, but in 2008, you couldn't give away a house down there. I mean, it was just the market just disappears because resort property is luxury money. It's toys. And the first thing people quit buying when times get hard is toys. And the thing they overspend on when things are prosperous is toys. And so it just shoots way up and way down is what it does. So I think you're riding the curve up. It sounds like you don't want to rest in this house when you retire anyway. It's only $1,400 and you want something bigger.
Yeah.
I'm cashing out then.
Okay.
On that basis.
The only flip side to the whole thing was, I also sold a business, and so this year I'm looking at a payout on the business for this year of about $250,000, and then obviously capital gains because it's a second home in Florida. So just trying to, I know there's no way we can hedge taxes, but it just seems like,
Well, your capital gains rate will be 15% on your gain.
Okay.
And it may not be after next year, after Biden gets done.
Okay.
Because they're talking about jacking it up, and
Yeah, I know.
You rich people that have worked all your life and built up $1.5 million in a little beach house, you should be punished, and Washington's going to see to it. So that's what the word is. Now they've not actually proposed any legislation, but they're making a lot of noise about how much they're going to soak the rich. So, and you qualify, my friend, thank God. And so anyway, I don't know. Here's the thing: given that it's a 15% rate and it might not be next year, given that this is volatile property and it could be peaking, it could go on up from here before it peaks, but we don't know. Given all of that, if you had $450,000 sitting in the middle of your kitchen table, plus or minus some taxes, and you didn't own this house, would you go buy it? And everything you told me says the answer is no.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you wouldn't go buy it right now for $450, that means you should sell it for $450, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, it's only, like I said, 1,400 square feet. I mean, it just ballooned. Florida is crazy right now.
Yeah.
So,
and it was crazy down just a few years ago.
Smart decision.
Yeah, I mean, right after a hurricane or right after 2008, it's crazy down, and you can't give stuff away down there. They have entire condominium projects just sitting like the wind is blowing through them when times are bad. But then when times are like they are now, I mean, any old dump will sell. It's crazy. So, and obviously you don't have a dump. You've obviously got a sweet little house there. So, very cool. Way to go, Pastor. Proud of you, man. You've done a great job handling your money and building wealth. I would cash out based on what you told me if I were in your shoes. And those are the reasons. So, folks, you can always do that reverse engineering thing. It's called a sunk cost analysis. If I didn't own it and instead I had that pile of money sitting in the table in front of me, on the table in front of me, would I go buy it? You can do that with a boat, looking at the boat in the driveway. I could sell it for $10,000, okay? You get $10,000 in the middle of the table. If you didn't have a boat, would you take that $10,000 off the table and go buy a boat? No, I haven't used the stupid thing in 3 years. Okay, then that means it's time to sell the boat, son. You reverse engineer the whole thing, right? Or the other way around, you go, if I didn't have a boat, would I go buy one? Yes, I'd go buy one. Our family uses it every weekend. It's where our family loves going to the lake. And by the way, that's the Ramseys. We love going to the lake. And so, that kind of thing. So, yeah, you would keep it then because you'd buy it again. And, you just have to ask yourself that question. If somebody put that much money in front of you, would you go buy that item again? You can do it with an investment, and what it keeps you from doing is like you bought something an investment, a stock at $70 a share and it's down to 50. And you go, well, I'm going to wait on it to come back up, although I don't really think it's going to come back up. Well, how's that logical? If you wouldn't buy the shares at $50 because of what you know now, then sell them at $50 and get out, regardless of what you paid for them. What you paid for them is not relevant. It's what you think is going to happen in the future that's relevant. And that analysis makes you think through a future lens, a sunk cost analysis. Reverse engineer the process. Great decision-making tool. This is The Ramsey Show.
Hey, it's Kelly, associate producer for The Ramsey Show. This episode is over, but if you heard about an event, product, or service and didn't have a chance to write it down, don't worry. We list everything you've heard about during this episode in the podcast show notes section or head to theramseyshow.com. Thanks for listening.
This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studios, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host, flying solo today. Ramsey personalities are all out working. Not a bad thing. So here I am hanging out with you guys. Open phones at 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. Anita is with us in Pensacola to start off this hour. Hi, Anita. How are you?
Hi. I'm fine. Thank you very much.
Good. How can I help?
Well, here's the little rundown on it. My husband and I are 65, and we hope to retire in about 5 years. We're planning to work until 70, or if one of us should get disabled, then we would retire then. But we are out of debt. We have our emergency fund.
Good.
And 15% is going into retirement
Good.
right now.
Good.
We're at a point that we were thinking to go ahead and start paying off the house.
Good.
But here's the thing, since we only have about 5 years to go, and I don't know, I haven't looked at the figures just in the last little while. Last year when we met with the Smart Buster Pro, we had a little bit less than $200,000 in retirement, but that was just as we were starting the 15%. So at this point, we don't know. We have like I said, we have a small mortgage, and it's at 4.875. In other words, 4 7/8. So we're trying to determine whether we should just start putting all that extra into retirement or paying off the house.
You should put 15% of your income away, and everything else you can find in your budget you use to pay off your small mortgage. What's your household income?
About $75,000.
Between the two of you?
Right.
Okay. And how much is the mortgage balance?
The mortgage balance is about $63,000.
Okay. All right. And so, if we really lean on this mortgage because it's an emergency, because it kind of is, if you paid, you said $63,000, right?
Right.
You make 75, so 32 would pay a year, would pay it off in 2 years. 21 would pay it off in 3 years.
Okay.
So sounds like $2,000 a month on the mortgage while you're putting at
Okay.
least 15% away. Now, that puts you
Right,
at 3
we are.
years. That
We're
puts you at
doing
3
that
years
now.
later, your house is paid off. Because here's the thing.
Okay.
You need both going into retirement. And let me walk you through why. You
Right.
need a paid-for house and a nest egg. Because a paid-for house is your housing is your most expensive line item in your budget. If you don't have it paid for, if you're renting, it goes up every year while you try to live from 70 to 90. Over 20 years, your rent's going to go through the roof. So number one, you own. Number two, you get it
Right.
paid off, and then you've gotten rid of the biggest item on your budget, your house payment.
Okay. Okay.
So you've stabilized your golden years by getting the house
Okay.
paid off. And then, of course, we need this stuff like food and electricity and gas for the car. And that means we need to have money coming in from retirement, which is the nest egg side. And so,
Right.
you know, but I think you're going to be fine. Let's run some numbers out. Let's say you did $21,000 a year, or you did $2,000 a month. You can do that. You just have to get on a tight budget and watch what you're doing, because this is important.
That sounds tough.
It's very tight. It's very tight. Tighter than you've ever lived on. I know that because you don't have any money much, and you're 65.
No.
So it's time
Well,
for you to tighten the
we paid
screws up.
Kids college.
I know, but here we are today. It's time for you. You got to do this now. There can't be any
Yeah,
more
I know.
reasons. There can't be more reasons. You got to do
Okay.
it. So $2,000 a month puts you out of debt in under 3 years, slightly under 3 years. Okay.
Okay.
And now the $200,000 you said was 2 years ago.
Well, about a year and a half ago.
Okay. If you didn't add anything to that, and you will be, that $200,000 will double about every 7 years if your mutual funds are earning around 10% or more, and they should be. Okay? So 200
Okay.
is going to be 400 when you're 70.
Okay.
Because it was 2 years ago, 7 years to 70, right?
Right.
So that's 400, plus you're going to be putting in another $1,000 a month, which is $12,000 a year, which is 15% of your income, into
Right.
retirement. And you've already been doing that, so you've already got a little more. And you're going to be doing that for the entire 5 years. Oh, wait, no, you're going to be doing that only for under 3 years, and then there's no house payment, so now you can go to $2,000 a month going into nest egg.
Oh, okay.
And $2,000 a month is $24,000 a year, plus $12,000 a year for 3 years. So there's another $150,000 plus what it grows.
Okay.
So by 70,
Okay, that
by
sounds
70,
good.
you should have $600,000-$700,000 in a paid-for house if you do exactly what I told you. But if you go screwing around and keep messing with this and coming up with excuses, you're going to have a mess. So you need to act like your hair is on fire for the next 3 years. $2,000 a month plus $1,000 a month into retirement. That's $3,000 a month. By the way, $3,000 a month is $36,000 out of $75,000. That leaves you enough to live on.
Okay.
But you
Okay,
ain't
that
living
sounds
large.
good.
You're living small.
No.
So
we
that
never have lived large.
yeah, so that you can have some golden years from 70 and on, right?
Okay.
But
Yes.
this
that
is
sounds
within your reach. The math says you can do it. Now, personal finance is 80% behavior. It's only 20% head knowledge. We just gave you the 20% head knowledge. Now you got to go do the behaviors, which is, by the way, is the hard part. I mean, the math of becoming wealthy is not hard. It's 6th grade math, but nobody does it. So, hey, good question. Thank you for joining us. Here's what's interesting. If your mutual funds average 12%, which the stock market has averaged a little over 11.5 since it began. So if your mutual funds slightly outperform the market and you made 12% and you put $100 a month away from age 25 to age 65, $100 pizza breath. You spend that on pizza. $100 a month. Every month from age 25 to age 65 is $1,176,000. Everyone in America should retire a millionaire if you grasp that knowledge. Oh, wait. You have to do the behavior. Oh, there's the problem. The idiot in my mirror is a problem child. If I could get this guy to behave, he'd be skinny and rich. But he's got issues. The behavior, people. It's the behavior. It's not the math. The math is not hard. We make enough money in this country to be wealthy, but it's controlling our little selves. Me too, baby. That's the problem. This is The Ramsey Show. Hey folks, I got a great option to help you pay for your education. The Army National Guard. The Army National Guard believes you are the next greatest generation because you have proven that even in adversity, that you have what it takes to succeed. That's why they offer benefits like tuition assistance, career training, and a paycheck to help you avoid debt. No matter what your goals are, the Army National Guard can help you get there. Visit nationalguard.com to find out more. Have you ever considered how your spending habits influence your kids? Rachel Cruz says in our book, Smart Money, Smart Kids, that more is caught than taught. If the way you medicate stress is you go shopping and you laughingly call it retail therapy as if that's harmless, guess what? Your teenage daughter just watched you. And as soon as she feels stressed, she's going to do what daddy did or mommy did. So you want your kids to turn out? You got to turn out. That's the first thing. And also you got to teach them. We've dropped our prices up to 80% on our best-selling kids products so you can have a fun and educational summer. The Adventure Pack is a family favorite for the little guys. It includes the Storytime Collection with Junior from Financial Peace Junior, the actual Financial Peace Junior Kit, which teaches you how to teach kids how to handle money, the Smart Saver Bank, and also, if you got teens, the Anthony O'Neill's Teen Entrepreneur Toolbox is the perfect, safe, and flexible way for them to create their own business as their summer job. So it's a kids and teens sale up to 80% off in the store at RamseySolutions.com. Be sure and check out the store right now at RamseySolutions.com. Our question of the day comes from Blinds.com. They have a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Even if you mismeasure, you pick the wrong color. Have you ever screwed something up like that? Like you go to Home Depot and you buy the thing, it doesn't fit. Like every time. Gosh! I'm sorry, am I venting here? Well, they have a guarantee at Blinds.com that when you do that, they will give you a new blind free if you mess it up. I mean, who does that? Companies that are great, like Blinds.com. I've been endorsing this company a long time, and the reason is they're incredible. Use the promo code Ramsey when you go there. You can save all kinds of money. Today's question, my husband and I are 27 years and 28 years old. We each have our own small businesses, recently began our debt-free journey. We're in baby step 2, getting out of debt and not investing. I'm wondering, what is the benefit of investing into a retirement account that you can't touch until retirement age, as opposed to other mutual funds with similar growth that you can access more freely? Taxes. Let me explain it to you. Let's say, right before the break, I said if you put $100 a month away from age 25 to age 65, you'd have $1,176,000. If you put 2 away, you'd have $2.2 million, $2.4 million. Okay? So $200, which for most of you, once you're out of debt and have your emergency fund, doesn't even equal as much as you should be, which is 15% of your income. But let's just use $2 million. You get to retirement, Casey, and you have been taxed all these years on all of that money as it has grown. And so, in other words, for you to end up, when you would have ended up with $2.2 million for $200 a month in that example, you would have ended up with $1 million. Okay? Let's say you put it into a Roth IRA. Now, $200 a month is $2,400 a year. For 40 years is like $80,000, 100 grand. Okay? But there's $2 million in there. You put in 100 grand, the rest of the money from 100 up to 2.2, so $2.1 million is growth on the account. If it's in a Roth, there is zero taxes on the growth. If it's in a traditional IRA or in a mutual fund, as you with no retirement protection, 100% of the growth is taxed when it comes out. If you pay taxes on $2.1 million, it's going to sound suspiciously like $500,000 or $600,000. So this word Roth in this one example where you're only saving $200 a month, which is not much, this word Roth is worth around $600,000. So this, I want access to it because I might want to buy something, costs you $600,000. Okay? So no, you do Roth IRAs first and foremost when you get to baby step 4, because the tax-free growth and the fact that the vast majority of what is in your account when you get to retirement is growth. Only $100,000 out of the 2.2 in that example was principal. The rest of it was growth. And zero taxes on the growth is a $600,000 per $200,000 discussion, or per $2 million discussion. So it's a lot of freaking money in order to have access to it. Now, here's what's interesting, though, Casey. When you start saving 15% of your income and you have no debt, and you start doing baby step 5 and putting your kid's college fund away, and baby step 6, you get your house paid off, then we can start investing more, and some of that will be money that you have access to. I'm not 65. I just turned 60 this year, and I've never touched my retirement accounts, and I've done tons of other side investing because I've been out of debt for 30 freaking years. And you can invest a lot of money in addition to your retirement if you just saved a house payment. So that's what changes the entire equation right there. So it's a big deal. It's a big, big deal. Antonio is with us in Charlotte, North Carolina. Hey, Antonio, what's up in your world?
Hey, Dave. How are you? Can you hear me okay?
Absolutely, sir. How can we help?
Good. I'm happy I found you about a year and a half ago. I feel like I made a kind of terrible decision. I was down to my last 2 debts on baby step 2. I had a personal loan with about $5,300 left, and a car loan that was about $5,300 left. My car was giving me a lot of issues. I had gotten a lot of work done to it. And so I decided a dealer gave me an offer more than the Blue Book value for it. So I kind of took that money, and the money, they paid off the rest of the car. I took that money and paid off the personal loan. So now I was left with, the money I was left with, instead of going out and buying a $4,000 or $5,000 car. I decided to go to the dealership, and I bought a used 2014 Ford Escape with about 28,000 miles on it. I financed it, which was a terrible idea. And now I just feel it's the only debt that I have now, but I just feel terrible getting into a financed car for another 5 years. Interest rate and about a $400 car payment. 6% interest rate and a $400 car payment. So I just wanted to know your thoughts. I got it a week ago. Just wanted to know if you think it's worth keeping with it being my only debt now and just paying off as fast as possible, or try to sell it.
Sounds like you need to give up drinking.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. But you woke up with a serious financial hangover, didn't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Terrible decision.
Yeah. So you either go back out partying again tonight, or you avoid the alcohol because it gave you a hangover. Translation, you sell a stupid car, dude.
Yes, sir.
I mean, you knew that, right? I didn't have to tell you that. You just want me to say it out loud for you?
I believe so. I felt terrible about it ever since last.
I'm not going to shame you because I've done dumber stuff. But the trick is, here's the thing. What I try to do when I do something stupid, and man, I have paid so much stupid tax in my life. I have a PhD in DUMB, man. I have done so many stupid butt stuff. I've done stuff that makes you look like a genius, okay? And you're not, okay? But, so, I mean, it's okay. We've all been there. There's a point. Now, the question is this. I always ask myself, when I do something stupid and it leaves a mark like this where I like, oh, crap, that was so dumb. You know what I'm saying? I try to, like, mark that down in my stupid book because I'm going to do something else stupid. I know I am. But I just try not to do the same stupid thing again. Right? And what you did here was you repeated a stupid thing. Because you got a car payment in the first place, and you went and traded it for a different car payment that was bigger, which is obviously perpendicular to your goal of being out of debt. So the big lesson here is you looking in the mirror and going, I'm going to get control of you. That's the big thing. You do what you want to do, brother. I'm not here to beat you up. I've done dumber, like I said. But if I woke up in your shoes, I'd sell that car this week. And then stay off the car lot. This is the Ramsey Show. In the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage, Wayne and Sherry are with us. Hey, guys, how are you?
Very well. How are you?
Very well. Welcome, welcome. Where do you guys live?
We live in Kingsport, Tennessee.
Oh, yeah. Awesome. Well, welcome to Nashville. And all the way over here to do a debt-free scream. How much did you pay off?
We paid off $131,000, and it took us 4 years.
Good for you. And your range of income during that time?
80 to 110.
Okay, cool. What do y'all do for a living?
I work for Eastman Chemical.
Mm-hmm.
And I just retired. Early retirement.
I love it.
Yes.
Retired from what? What did you do?
I had a small dog grooming business.
Okay. Because you don't look like a retiree to me.
Really, I'm not, but I just done it anyway.
I like it. Very, very good. Good for you. What kind of debt was the $131,000?
We had a couple of vehicle payments.
Mm-hmm.
A pull loan, and credit cards.
Ah, okay. So you're kind of normal.
Mm-hmm.
All right. How long you guys been married?
Almost 24 years. It'll be 24 years in September.
Okay. What happened at the 20-year mark 4 years ago that made you decide, we're cleaning this up?
It hit me when I was 40. I didn't want to do it no more.
Your 40-year-old birthday was a wake-up call.
It was.
It really was.
That's cool.
Wasn't getting any younger, and we had a lot of stuff, but we had no money.
Mm-hmm.
And we was tired of living that way. So
make plenty of money and don't have any.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Just like working for everybody else.
Yes.
It just hit us at the same time. We was just ready to do it and get it done.
So what did you do? How'd you connect to us, and what's the story?
We sat down and tried to do a budget on our own, and it wasn't working. And I was at my brother's house, and his wife, Linda, mentioned your name.
Linda.
Yeah. So we went, got home that night, got on YouTube, and seen some Dave Ramsey rants. And we were hooked. So we signed up for Financial Peace University.
Oh, wow.
And our first budget, we was in the negative. I don't know
how we made it.
Yeah, I would borrow from one credit card to make the payment on another credit card.
Yeah, done that.
And it was over, Dave. It just couldn't live like this anymore.
Enough. You got really disgusted and said, game on.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And after we attacked our smallest debt, it was a QVC debit card.
That was mine.
That was hers. And I can remember one night she was doing the budget and woke me up and said, we are in the green. It was $7 to the green.
But it was a great feeling.
But we didn't owe more than we was making. So, and after that, we wore it out.
Yeah. So
just game on.
Turned up the dog grooming, turned up the overtime, turned down the spending, and here we go.
Sold my purse collection.
Oh.
Yeah.
That was hard at the beginning, but it worked out
So how much
perfect.
did your purse collection sell for?
About It was under $3,000, but it was about maybe $2,800.
Girl, you had some purses.
I had about 50.
Well, you just needed your life back anyway.
Yeah, that was my stuff. That was my stuff.
Wow, good for you. That's fun. That's fun. So, you, what do you tell people the key to getting out of debt is?
Budgeting. Absolutely budgeting. Use your envelope system. Stuff it full of cash, and when it's empty, it's empty. You don't go use your, well, of course you don't get your credit cards, but don't use your debit cards even. When your envelopes are empty, you're done.
Go home.
Mm-hmm.
Go home.
We stopped worrying about
What
everybody else, too. Just,
What other people think.
Right.
Yeah, it's almost impossible to win financially when you worry about what other people think.
It is.
That's what we just
There's
done, Wayne and Sherry.
There's a lot of pressure there. That's interesting. Very cool. Yeah, you guys had a complete redo here. This is very cool. So when you're going through Financial Peace University, 9 weeks, 9 different classes, which one of those classes did you go, oh, I knew this, and now I'm going to go do it?
Pretty much all of them.
Yes.
It was just like a wake-up call. We were like, what were we doing? And then we would go to one of your classes, and we're like, yeah, do that.
What about you, Wayne?
The budgeting part was really what.
That was the one.
That was
okay.
the one, yes, sir.
All right. Yeah, you're getting that stuff under control. Very
control.
good. Well done, guys.
Thank
Very
you.
well done. So in 24 years of marriage, you spent the last 4 years getting out of debt. Is this the only time you've been debt-free in 24 years?
Yes,
Only time.
Okay.
only time.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Very proud of you. Will you ever go back?
Absolutely not.
Oh, no. No. Not living like that. Never.
Good answer.
And I hope our kids follow in our footsteps
Yep.
now, not in the past, but
Right.
now.
Start right now. Yeah. We're going to start you on this tomorrow. Wow. Well, way to go, you guys. Who were your biggest cheerleaders outside the two of you?
My mom and dad.
Yeah.
They pushed us a lot.
Okay.
And our 3 girls, we have 3 daughters.
And Linda.
And
Yes.
Linda.
Linda's got to be cheering.
Yes.
She's kind of the starting point of this
She
whole
was.
thing.
She
yeah.
was.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's neat. That's a neat testimony for her.
Yeah.
Yeah. So well done, you guys. Well done. Well, we've got a copy of the Legacy Journey for you. That's the next stage in your walk here as you become wealthy, because you are heading that way now. No payments, and now you have control, and now you have conviction, and now you've got common sense, and man, you're ready to go.
Can I say one thing, Dave? The only argument we have about money now is which savings account we want to put it in. So, and that's
Yeah, that's pretty good argument.
that's the truth.
There's worse arguments to have,
Yes.
that's for sure. That's great. Very good. All right. We've also got a copy of the Total Money Makeover for you, so you can give it to someone, pay it forward, and maybe start their journey. Maybe you're somebody's Linda. And get things going.
Yes.
Well, way to go, you two. Wayne and Sherry from Kingsport, $131,000 paid off in 4 years, making 80 to 110. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1.
We're debt-free! Yeah! That is it, baby. That's it. Hey, if you guys want to plug into Financial Peace University like they did, you can do it. You don't have to live like you're living. You can stop going in circles. You can start making progress. Check out Ramsey Plus. The membership will show you how to make the changes you need to get the results you want. Gives you complete access to Financial Peace University, to every dollar premium. Teaches you how to do the envelopes like she's talking about. I mean, we're going to walk you. We've got community there for you to plug in, get support and encouragement, accountability. We got coaches you can plug into. All of this is in Ramsey Plus, and you can get a free trial for Ramsey Plus right now. What's the downside of a free trial? No downside. You got to get in there and look at it, and you can go in there, watch Financial Peace University, start watching it tonight. It's that easy. So start making real progress. Free trial. What you do is you text trial to 33789. Text trial to 33789. You know what's interesting in their case that applies to you? Yeah, I'm talking to you. Nothing changed in their life. They just woke up and decided. No more. There was no big job crisis. There was no big medical crisis. There was no big, I turned 40 and I'm not living like this anymore. That's all it was. And sometimes you have to get disgusted with yourself to change something. You know what I mean? You got to get a little bit pissed off at yourself and go, self, you're stupid. Self, you have to stop this. See, I just did that. Because what I do when I'm working like a maniac and I'm working a bazillion hours, which is what I was doing during COVID to try to keep this place open, I was working 100 hours down here, man, and I lived down here just about. Me and the leadership team were trying to keep these 1,000 people paid and keep the revenue turned, and we're pivoting and unprecedented and all that BS that we all just went through in the last year. And what I did was I ate everything in sight. I mean, there wasn't a chocolate donut left within a 50-mile radius of me. I sucked them all down. I got so fat, it was disgusting. And I looked in the mirror and I went, you're disgusting. So since I got disgusted, I lost 37 pounds. See, you can just decide, okay? You can just decide, look stupid, stop it. You can just decide that. That's what I did, and it's what they did. And it's, you know, we all screw up. The question is, are you going to live like that? No! Stop it! This is The Ramsey Show. Common sense for your dollars and cents. It's The Ramsey Show, proving that common sense is like having a superpower. Eric is with us. Eric is in San Antonio. Hey, Eric, what's up?
Hey, Dave. How you doing? First-time caller here. Got a question for you about career.
Okay.
So, effectively, I'm in a role as a business analyst, and I'm kind of trying to exit this career field and become a financial advisor. I just find that that's what gives me the most joy, and I think dopamine surges in life is helping people with their finances.
Cool.
That being said, my wife and I are still in baby step 2. We're down from about 100,000 to 40,000 remaining. We've got a bit to go. We just recently had a baby, so our income has been cut just to my income at about 60,000. Mm-hmm. Now, that being said, I have this friend who reached out to me with an opportunity. It's, again, a business analyst role for about 100,000. I just wonder, if I should take it, even though I'm trying to exit this arena, just to get that increase in pay, be debt-free in a year flat, and then move on with my career aspirations, or if I should not be pursuing something that is not in line with my long-term goals.
Hmm. So if you move to a financial advisor, what do you make?
I think it's largely determined by the commission that I would be able to earn. I think starting out from what I've seen, it can range from 60 on up through. Theoretically, sky's the limit. If you're just going to be just a total superstar, you can earn quite a bit. Mm-hmm. I think starting out, it may be comparable though to what I'm earning now.
Okay, comparable, except that it has upside based on your performance.
Correct. Yes, sir.
And it's doing what you love. Idea.
Yes.
Well, go do that.
Right. So you would not take the...
Dude, go do that and make 100. 60's your downside. If you go do that and you make 70 or 80 versus taking 100, and then you turn around and walk back out on those people who hired you a year later, that's kind of wild. No, I'm not going to tell you to do that.
I should clarify. It's a contract. It was a 1-year contract for a project, basically. So it's like I would kind of have the red carpet on the way out, really. Because it's a 1-year contract. I thought that would have been tacky too if I just quit after a year flat.
Okay. That's helpful. That's helpful information. That makes me more tempted to do it. But I tell you what I would do. I would sit down with the financial advising firm that you're talking about going with and say, okay, I got this carpet ride for a year for $100. I got a brand new baby. My wife's off. I can knock out my debt doing that. But if I can see my way to making $100 here, if you can show me what it takes to do that and I can believe I can do it, I'll probably just come do that.
Okay.
And if not, I'll probably see you in a year.
Right. Okay. Kind of use it as leverage.
So if they say, look, the top 3% of people hired into this role go, they don't make 60, they make 100 the first year. Don't do it. Take the carpet ride. But if they say, half our guys make 100 the first year, well, surely God, you can get in the top half.
Yeah, I would hope so.
That's what that's the way I'm looking at it. That's the way I would look at it if it was me doing it. I just go, I think I can get in the top half. I don't know if I can get in the top 3%. I may not be that smart. Or may not work as hard, or I may not have the golden touch, or I don't know, whatever. 3% would bother me, but if it's a 50% of the people that try this can do it and make 100 first year, then I'm doing what I love, because you have a high probability doing what you love of earning more, right? So either way, 12 months from now, you're doing it, right?
Right. Either that's my goal, unless some unforeseen event comes in and I just fall in love all over again with business analysis, which I just don't really like.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. So what runs through my head is, if you call me up and said, I make 60 and I got a part-time job offer for 40, or I can quit my job and go make 60 and not have the part-time job, and I hate the part-time job, I would tell you, go do the part-time job and get out of debt for a year. You got a baby, clear your debt up and get yourself going, right? And in a sense, that's kind of what we're doing. We're taking a 1-year part-time job that's 40 over what you're being paid on contract. And it's okay to be on contract because you're bailing anyway 12 months from now to go into the advisor side of the world, because that's what gives you the juice, right?
Yeah. So it sounds like from what you're saying that there's, depending on the numbers and the circumstances, either of these decisions could work out being the wiser choice. Yeah. There's not one that you
if you've got a reasonable probability that you think you can hit without being ego-based or weird, of hitting it at advisor, go do it as an advisor. But if the probability is very small, like almost none of our guys make 100 the first year, go take the 100. Do it for a year, clean it up, do it for your young family. That's like working an extra job. It's 1 year. It's 1 year. You can do anything for a year. And then you're done. But yeah, just talk it through with the company you're talking about going on with as an advisor. I think they can give you real numbers. And if they're just trying to blow smoke, then you got to get somebody to really tell you what's really going on in that world. I don't know is the answer from me. I don't know what you can do there, or what their commission structure is, or how they pay. They may say, no, you're not allowed to do anything that increases your income. You're locked at 60 for the first 12. Oh, well, in that case, I'm for sure taking this carpet ride. Ashley's with us in Las Vegas. Hi, Ashley. How are you?
Hi. Thank you for having me. I'm good.
Good. How can I help?
So we decided to sell our home because we're kind of in a pickle. The market's good for selling our home, but our question is kind of, what do we do with the equity afterwards? My husband and I have split thoughts.
What's the pickle?
So I started doing real estate, and I dropped my job completely that I had. Well, I didn't really have a job since COVID. I was in the serving industry, and then my husband has a job where he makes about $600 a week. And then our mortgage is over, I want to say it's $13 a month, which isn't a bad mortgage, but we kind of just can't keep up with all of our bills. We're about $40,000 in debt, 20 for credit card, 20 for cars and motorcycles. And our best option really is to sell our home. I am getting another job right now to do on top of real estate. But we're unable to kind of figure out anything, I guess would be almost like a quick fix kind of deal.
How much do you owe on your motorcycle?
$6,000.
What do you owe on the cars? You said 20 total, right?
Yeah, I want to say it might be a little more than 20 for everything to do together. It might be about 18 or 17.
On the car?
Yes. I'm
A
minivan.
car?
Yes.
Okay. You have a car you can't afford that you need to sell, and a motorcycle you need to sell.
Believe me, if I could get rid of those two things, that would have been my first choice. And
that is your first choice.
Yeah.
You can get
we already
rid
have
of
our
them.
home under. We have our home under contract.
Why are you calling me then? You're already doing what you're going to do.
No. The question I have is, so we'll have equity afterwards.
Yeah, sell the motorcycle and sell the car afterwards.
Right.
And use the equity to pay off all the other stuff and get yourself situated with an emergency fund and get your career straightened out. Because your problem has been an income problem, and you keep buying crap you can't afford.
Right.
And so if you if you fix the income problem and get rid of the toys that you bought that you can't afford, then you position yourself to make some leaps forward. But otherwise, the home equity is going to go to pay for stupidity.
Right. So after everything's said and done, even after paying off our debts, we'll still be out about $120,000. Like, that's how much we're taking.
Oh, wow. That's wonderful.
Yeah, we're going to have that's after paying off my grandmother. She loaned us $50,000 for the home loan originally.
Yeah. So, clear up all debts then and get you a paid-for car and get your career going. Get settled into the career, rent something, park the money in a savings account, in a money market account for 1 year while you save up even more and you get your career stabilized before you repurchase. And you do all of that debt-free with an emergency fund in place, and you'll have a good down payment. Yeah, that's what you're doing. But you need to sell the car and the motorcycle. They're ridiculous.
Did you know you can listen to The Ramsey Show on your smart speaker? Just tell Alexa, Google Assistant, or Siri to play The Ramsey Show podcast. Check out all Ramsey Network shows on your smart speaker today.
This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studios, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. Thank you for joining us, America. This is your show, where we talk about you right in front of you. The phone number is 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. Matt is in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Hi, Matt. How are you?
Good. How you doing, Dave?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Awesome. First, I just want to say thank you. In 2015, me and my wife found you and paid off $120,000 in 2018. So thank you for that.
Good for you.
That. And, yeah, look forward to seeing you when the mortgage is paid off.
Awesome.
Currently, I'm a nurse at a hospital in Lancaster that is going to be mandating the COVID vaccine, which I'm not sure if I'm going to get it yet. So I'm looking at possibly doing a career change. We have an 18-month-old, and our second baby is due August 24th. If I don't get the vaccine, it would be my firing date would be September 1st. We're in baby steps 4, 5, and 6. We have about $55,000 in retirement with my work. We both have IRAs that have about $3,000 each. We're putting in money for our first child's college fund monthly, and we were putting about $400 extra on the mortgage. So I guess my question is,
how much is in the emergency fund?
The emergency fund right now has $15,000. So, and
what's your household income?
I bring home gross about 63, and then take home for my wife. She owns her own business. She's bringing around like $1,000 to $1,500 a month take home. Mm-hmm. I don't know what her gross is. Okay. But we probably bring home about $4,500 a month.
Okay, so August, July, and the rest of June.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got 75 days.
Correct. Yep.
Okay. All right. For them to either change their mind or you get a different nursing job. Why don't you just get a different nursing job?
There's
a shortage of
one
nurses.
Or two, I know. So the thinking is that's a possibility. So I'm really into finances after discovering you, and I have been in talks with my financial advisor about becoming a financial advisor myself. If that would fall through, and I'm also looking at other nursing jobs. The only issue that I see with that is it's one of the largest companies hospital-wide in Pennsylvania on the Philadelphia side, and I believe everyone's kind of just watching to see how many nurses and people leave.
Well, that's happening everywhere, okay?
Yeah.
And the point is, and you're well aware of this, I don't need to tell you this, but I'm just going to remind you of what you already know. There's a lot of places that have nurses that are not hospitals.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so I guess I could do that.
Yeah. Because here's the thing. You need to make the jump to financial advisor from strength, not desperation and weakness.
So that's so I've been offered from other people that know that I'm into finances and stuff. They have talked to me about training me to be an accountant and stuff like that. And I don't want to, that's what me and my wife have discussed. I don't want to be taking any kind of job out of desperation, just kind of like listening to you and Ken and stuff like that.
I think you need to finish out getting real clear on what this next move from nursing is, and you need to make the jump from nursing. So what I think is going to happen is I think you're going to find another nursing job in the next 3 weeks.
Okay.
Because you're actually going to start looking.
Yeah. Do you think I should wait, like, say my start date would be in September?
No, I think if these bozos are willing to put you on the street, I'm willing to put them on the street.
Okay. That's kind of my feeling too. Do you think now with that, would you stop investing? Because we're investing 15%.
No, I think I'd go get a job making more than I make now and quit the bad job with the bad people.
Okay. All right.
So here's what's happening, okay? This is happening all over America.
Yeah.
You know, we've got large companies mandating vaccines, and people are leaving them in droves.
Okay.
So hospitals, I've talked to 20 people in healthcare in the past 3 or 4 weeks, and what's happening is that they're doing stuff like they're talking about doing with you, and the nurses are saying, I'm not taking this thing. I'm out. Yeah. Listen, I'm not signing up. So then what happens is they take where they've already got a nursing shortage at that hospital, and they exasperate it. And then once they make the decision, then they go back and undo the decision because they realize how screwed they are because half their people walk out. It's like causing a strike.
Yeah, and that's what's kind of going on here.
Yeah, I got a feeling as soon as you find a job, they're going to change their mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm not sure I want to stay there anyway if they're willing to put the muscle on me like that.
Yeah, that's so. Again, being in the financial situation we are, thanks to you guys, I feel like I can leave. There's definitely a lot of my coworkers that feel.
Yeah,
like
you can leave because you can go make more.
Yeah.
Because you're in a fabulous field. Nursing's a fabulous field. You're only as secure, not as some company providing you security. You're only as secure as your ability to go land another thing doing it. In nursing, you can always land another thing doing it. So you've got security because of your knowledge base and because of your licensing and because of your willingness to do what you do. And thank you for doing it, by the way. But, yeah, I had a friend of mine the other day. He's working for a huge corporation. He'd been there for years, and he was going to retire in 2 years, and they said, you have to have a vaccine to come back into the office. And he said, okay, I'll just retire now. And he's one of their top sales guys, and they lost him. You people in corporate America are idiots. Y'all are idiots. You're just dumb. It's unbelievable. And it has nothing to do with you really think somebody's going to get sick. You're just virtue signaling. You just want to look like, I'm sensitive. You're not sensitive. You're corporate America. You're idiots. And you treat a guy like this who's been serving people like a slab of meat. And you know what he's going to do? He's going to walk on you. That's what he's going to do. And that's what you deserve. Golly. Unbelievable. Look, if you want to take a vaccine, I'm not mad at you. But somebody mandating that you have to do that or you lose your job, hey, they deserve to lose the talent. They deserve for talent to turn on their heel and walk out the door. See, around Ramsey, we got a rule. We don't have a rule. You can wear a mask if you want to. You don't have to wear a mask if you don't want to. You can take your temperature at the door if you want to. Or you cannot take your temperature at the door if you want to. And everybody's getting along and nobody died. Isn't this a wonderful thing? But just don't be pissing and telling everybody else how they gotta live. A bunch of people telling everybody else how they gotta live. Mind your own business. This is The Ramsey Show. Stop paying your overpriced wireless provider and switch to Pure Talk. They use the same network as the larger providers for much less. For just $30 a month, get unlimited talk, text, and 6 gigs of data with no contract. The average family saves over $70 a month by switching to Pure Talk. Just go to puretalk.com and enter the promo code Ramsey to save 50% off your first month. Pure Talk, simply smarter wireless. Cost of college has gotten very real. Serious dollars, especially if you're going to a 4-year school, right? You need a plan to pay for college. You got some littles? You want your littles to go to school? You need a plan, baby. An ESA, an educational savings account, a 529. They're both places that you can invest after-tax dollars, and they grow tax-free. Age and income restrictions on the investment options you're given are a little bit different. And to get a better understanding of the choices that are right for you, you need to talk with a real expert financial advisor, someone with the heart of a teacher. Text the word INVEST to 33789, and we'll connect you with one of our SmartVestor pros that we have vetted. They're trustworthy. They will guide you, and you will make your decisions about getting your college plan started for your little. Text INVEST to 33789. INVEST to 33789, and we'll hook you up with the SmartVestor Pro. Blaine is in Tacoma. Hi, Blaine. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave. It's truly an honor to speak with you.
You too. What's up?
Hey, sir. So I had a question concerning how do I best navigate the baby steps in regards to purchasing a home. I am active duty military. I've been in for 12 years, no debt. I've got the fully funded emergency fund, and I've been saving for a down payment for a home a little over 2 years. I've got just over $20,000 saved. But I'm looking at least 8 years before I'm ready to purchase a home, as I'm going to be moving every couple of years. So I guess I wanted to get your thoughts on, should I do the all cash down approach? Is that the best way?
Yeah, just start, throw that $20,000 into a mutual fund. You can get something like an index fund, which is like an S&P 500. It'll have no commission on it, and there'll be no taxes on the growth until you pull it out. If you leave it alone, or hardly any taxes, maybe tiny bit, because it's got a low turnover ratio, and then just keep piling money in there, and that's I'm going to buy a house for cash when I get out of the military fund.
Now, while doing that, am I still investing in retirement?
Yes, I'd be putting 15% of your income into retirement while you're doing that. This is like your baby step 6. It's like paying off your house early.
Okay.
So baby step
Okay,
4 is
yeah,
15% of your income going into retirement. 5 is kids' college, and 6 is pay off your house early. So money that you would normally, if you owned a house, you'd be with a mortgage on it, you'd be chunking above the 15%, above the kids' college. You'd be chunking money on there to get rid of that house mortgage as fast as you can.
Okay. So do my minimum 15%. Treat my down payment for a house as if it were a mortgage, and just follow the steps in that order. Then.
Yep. Pile
Okay,
up the cash,
perfect.
baby. Thank you for your service. We appreciate you. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Jason is in San Francisco. Hi, Jason. How are you?
Oh, not too bad. How about yourself, Dave?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
All right. So my question's somewhat similar to the previous caller, in that I am also planning to buy a house in the next 1 to 5 years. I have a 401k with my previous employer. There's about $145,000 in there right now. I'm contemplating, or I'm going to roll that over into an IRA account.
Good.
I'm contemplating if I should put that into a Roth IRA or a traditional IRA.
No, because it's going to cost you $40,000 in taxes.
Well, correct. So that was my question. So I have no debt. I have about of my own savings. I have $190,000 in my currently in between my brokerage account and my Roth IRA. $15K nest egg. And then I max out my 401k and my Roth IRA every year.
Good. You're killing it. You're killing it. Way to go.
Thank you. My parents have given me $250,000 to essentially buy or help buy a home that currently right now I have as cash.
I hate it when that happens.
So I can take, me too, right? So I can take some of that money to pay the taxes if I convert.
No, I would only do that after your home is paid for, and you're not going to have a paid for home. You call me from San Francisco.
Well, that was my thing. So I'm not going to buy a house in the Bay Area or in California. I will for sure move out of here before I do that. I don't know when and where. I know within the next 5 years, but the housing market's high right now, and I have to get that plan figured out. So
just park it in a money market or a mutual fund or some combo of the two while you make that decision. But either way, it's a down payment or the ability to pay cash for a home if you move to a much cheaper area to buy a home, right? And I don't want you, I don't want you messing up the down payment or the killer thing on the home by having to pay taxes on the Roth. You can always flip it from a traditional to a Roth later. So here, let me walk you through. Here's what I think you should do. When you flip $140,000 to a Roth and it activates $35,000 or $40,000 in taxes, that's like investing $35,000 or $40,000 more into your retirement account, effectively mathematically. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I would only want you to do that at baby step 7.
Gotcha. After I have the home. Okay.
Exactly, and the home's paid off. Because if I got to choose between investing more than 15% or paying off the home, well, that's not our steps. Paying off the home's baby step 6. And so that's how I'm working this through from a critical thinking. That's how I'm making this decision while I'm talking to you is I'm treating you like you need to flip this to 7. You need to flip this to a Roth when you get to baby step 7 and you have the extra cash to pay the taxes it creates.
Gotcha. Okay.
So anything that impedes you being at baby step 7 is in the wrong order, and so that's how I'm working this through in my head. Hey man, thanks for the call. You are doing, man. Oh, make sure mom and dad got some tax advice because you can't give somebody $250,000. You can give them $15,000 without if tax being activated at 55%. You don't want gift tax? There is a way they can do it, but they need to get professional tax advice if they haven't. It's called a unified estate tax credit, and they have to do a filing with their in the year that they give you this gift. It's a wonderful gift, but they need to do it with intelligence. Otherwise, the tax man cometh, and he always taketh. Kelly is with us. Kelly is in Indianapolis. Hi, Kelly. How are you?
Hi. How are you, Dave?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Okay, so this kind of just came to me today. But I'm really looking to start a side hustle to try to cut through some of this debt I have. I have around $6,000 in debt, and I love photography. I take pictures of my son and all of my friends. I've thought about purchasing a really nice camera with my savings. So I have $2,100 in savings right now, and the camera set is around $1,200 for a really good set. So I'm wondering if purchasing that set to continue to bust through the set faster while also replenishing my savings would be smart.
What kind of camera have you got now?
I have a Canon, but it's not like a super nice one. I'm looking at the Nikon DS3500 right now.
Take your Canon and go make $1,000 with it.
Okay.
And use that $1,000 to buy the camera.
Okay. So
you know why I did that? You haven't made any money taking pictures yet. You don't buy a $1,200 camera set when you haven't made any money making pictures yet.
Right.
I want you to. Okay. This is called proof texting. In business, we put the idea out there and we make it actually make money before we expand it.
Okay. So how do you go about taking, upper level pictures with a bottom level camera?
Oh, now. Your Canon you can make $1,000 with.
Okay.
Nobody is hiring. You've never done it before. No one's going to hire a brand new beginner for $150,000 and expect you to come in with $300,000 worth of equipment. They don't do that. They expect you to do what you're doing. And so, this is all about whether you got an eye and whether you know how to handle this equipment that you have or not. That's not the deal. The equipment is not the issue. You are the issue. You are the secret sauce in this formula. This is The Ramsey Show. In the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage, TJ and Amy are with us. Hey, guys, how are you?
Great. Honored to be here. Thanks for having us.
Well, we're honored to have you guys. Where do y'all live?
California.
What part?
Southern Orange County.
Oh, yeah. Fun. Well, good to have you guys. Welcome. I just talked to a pastor friend of mine out there. I'm going to come out and speak in September in Irvine.
Okay.
So, welcome to Nashville. And all the way over here to do a debt-free scream. How much have you paid off?
$39,000.
All right. And how long did that take?
10 months.
Good for you. And your range of income during that time?
We started at about $13,000 and got up to $160,000.
There's a story there.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So what kind of debt was the $39,000?
Hi, that was all me. It was all my student loan
my name is
debt.
TJ, and I had some debt.
Yeah, I brought in all the debt to the relationship, and it was actually her that was like, we're going to take care of that immediately.
Okay. I'm not living like this.
No.
And so you just got married, I take it?
Yes.
Okay. And how long ago?
A year.
Okay. So immediately after you come home from the honeymoon, 10 months, boom, we're knocking this out.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So it was you, but what was it, student loans?
It's all student loans,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Cool. What's your degree?
Business.
Good. And what about yours?
Education.
All right. Fun.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're dating, and you discover he has this problem.
Yes.
Pretty much.
We were in college together, so it was a conversation.
Yeah, okay.
I knew what I was getting into.
Okay. Before you were even dating, you knew?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So, but then when it starts getting serious, she starts saying, we're doing this immediately.
Yeah. My parents were doing everything they could to help me out through college, but I still had some debt coming out, and she just basically told me this needs to be handled immediately, and we're not moving forward until it gets handled, and you're putting all of your fun little hobbies kind of to the side, and, we're crushing this.
Cool. And you did. You crushed it.
Yeah.
I mean, you hammered it.
Yeah.
So you came out of school and both of you got jobs. And that's how you go from 13 to 160?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay, what's the kind of part?
So it was a year after we got out of school that we got married.
Oh, okay.
So before that, he's a professional hockey player.
Okay.
So he had played in Sweden.
Yep.
And then by the time we got married, he was unemployed in between seasons.
Oh, okay.
And then COVID hits, and
and
there's
all hockey players are unemployed. Yeah.
Yes.
Pretty much.
Yes.
Couldn't get back overseas, and it got to a situation where she's teaching online, and I'm training in the morning and not working, and to cope with the stress of not having a hockey job for the first time in my life, I'm just spending money in golfing.
Oh,
and
there it is.
After a couple months,
which is what all hockey players do,
right?
By the
Exactly.
way.
Yeah. And she sat me down and was basically like, "I'm doing everything here, all the work, and
we got to get a plan.
We got to get a plan going."
So
all the NHL players I know are really good golfers.
Yeah.
By and large. I mean, a few of them still try to slap shot with the driver, but it's a fairly easy eye-hand connection there.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, good stuff. So are you playing now?
So I just signed back in Sweden a team called Tearing, SOSS, which is about 3 hours south of Stockholm. In the meantime, guy that I know through hockey for the past 10 years, he is a manager at Tustin Hyundai out in California. So I was just kind of venting to him when we were skating together of, if I don't get a job, my wife might kill me.
That's not quite true, but
well, that and the golf, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm spending money, not making money. So he's like, "Why don't you just come sell cars?" And inside, I'm screaming no, because that's just not what I ever pictured myself doing. And I thought it's going to be a sketchy business. And then I go to Tustin Hyundai after a training session. And I'm thinking, I'm just going to see the place. I'm not going to commit to anything. And he had me in a flash interview and hired working tomorrow before I even left there. So I kind of didn't really have that big of a choice in it. But ever since I got there, it's been absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And I've loved the family there. The management's great. The people are great. So it's worked out.
Not sketchy at all. Yeah,
No, not
good.
even a little bit.
Good. So how does the Sweden thing work? Are you commuting? I mean...
Yeah.
we live there half the
Oh,
year.
you're going.
Yeah.
You're going with him. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I teach all online, so I have my own business teaching homeschool students, so I can take it anywhere.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, then this is just a great adventure.
Yeah.
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
That's fun.
That now we can take freely without debt,
Yeah, absolutely.
Gives us a little more options. So.
And now that you're making some money instead of spending it all, all that stuff. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Well, good for you guys. Good for you. Where'd you play your high school?
I moved away at 16 to play juniors in Minnesota, then Manitoba, then Virginia. And we both played college hockey in upstate New York and then transferred together to play in Pennsylvania. So we've kind of been all over.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, very cool. Good for you guys. So how's it feel to be debt-free after all this gyration you've been through?
Such a relief.
Yeah.
Uplifting, for sure.
So, Amy, where did you get this idea that this is just unacceptable and we're going to crush it?
I found the podcast, the YouTube channel in college, just kind of trying to figure out what the heck, like how do you handle money when you have bills and like real things and what can we afford? And my dad's an accountant, so money was talked about in my house, but like the logistics as far as how are we going to handle that? So couple Google searches later and your name pops up pretty quick. So then I got him to listen.
It became mandatory listens, for sure.
And trap him in the car and,
Yeah, but it's kind of like that mandatory job. It didn't turn out so bad.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Pretty equivalent. Yeah.
All right. Very cool. Well, I'm proud of you guys. Very well done. Who were your biggest cheerleaders outside the two of you looking at you going, you got this, you can do it, and it's important?
We had a lot of support, I think. My parents let us live in their house for rent-free, which helped us a lot make progress, and were super supportive.
My parents were supportive as well, and then also have to throw out the name of my former teammate in college, Brett Johnson, who is a big Ramsey supporter and is currently debt-free himself using the same plan. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So in college, we both got at TJ a little bit. You got to get on this stuff.
I was in the middle and finally cave in, and I'm happy I'm happy I did.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. That's great. We could use some hockey analogies about you getting checked in the corner, but we won't. Okay. All right, guys. Well done. Very well done. Well, we've got a copy of The Legacy Journey for you because that's what's happening. You've changed your entire legacy. By learning to work together, and you've had such a good sense of humor about it, and you poke fun at each other, but also got serious and crushed it.
Yeah.
And very, very well done. That's good communication style. Everything's awesome. You guys are rock stars. Very, very sharp young couple. Also got a copy of the Total Money Makeover for you to give to somebody, pay it forward. Maybe you can get someone else's journey started with that, and that's the idea. So what do you tell people the secret to getting out of debt is now that you've done it?
I think for me, you have to have a really clear vision of what you want. Like some of our best dates, I think, we're just sitting down and talking about what we want our future to look like and feel like and things we want to be able to do, and having that really clear vision, then you can kind of work backwards and work your plan as a clear like steps to get there, you know. But you have to have that clear vision and not just kind of wander through it.
Yeah, and I found a lot of similarities like through hockey my whole life. My whole thing has been to learn to enjoy the sacrifice because you know that the payoff is going to be fantastic. And in hockey, for me, everything was worth it. So I knew that it was going to be the same way getting out of debt. So just to learn to enjoy the pain and the suffering, because you know what comes at the end is really worth it.
Yeah. No discipline seems pleasant at the time, but it yields a harvest of righteousness. Well done, you two. Very, very well done. All right, it's TJ and Amy from California/Sweden. $39,000 paid off in 10 months, making $13 to $160. What a great story. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1.
We're debt-free!
This is how it's done. Man, oh man, oh man. Everybody here in the audience is looking at them going, their future's bright. Everybody watching on YouTube is going, their future's bright. And if you look deeply into your radio or your podcast, you can look at them, you can see them right now and say their future's bright. Their future is amazing. Absolutely incredible. What a cool couple. Power couple for sure. Very fun stuff. Very fun stuff. This is The Ramsey Show. Our scripture of the day, 2 Corinthians 4:7, but we have this treasure in jars of clay to show that this is all surpassing power is from God and not from us. John Quincy Adams says, duty is ours, results are God's. It's our duty to plant the corn, then God sends the rain and the sun. We don't get to cause those two things, but guess what? If you don't plant the corn, there won't be any. Duty is ours, results are God's. Linda is with us in Gilbert, Arizona. Hi, Linda. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi.
Hi, what's
Hello.
up?
What? I was calling because I have a little boy. Well, he's not that little. He's 15 years old. He's going to be going to 10th grade. He got his permit today. So basically in 6 months, he's going to be able to drive by himself. I drive a BMW, and I'm going to pay it off by next month, July. It should be paid off. So I was thinking I should give it to him, or not. His dad passed away when he 5 years ago, and I get Social Security for him. I get $13.40 a month. And I don't know if I should what should I do with that money? Should I put it in Fidelity? For
that money should be part of your budget. You spend more than $1,300 a month to raise a child.
Okay.
That's part of your budget. And then part of your budget is to raise the child, and part of your budget is to take care of the child and think about college and think about cars and think about those kinds of things. That money is not separate. It's part of your life.
So, because that's what I'm planning to do, just keep saving the money. Like once I pay this car, which is next month, first God, if I'm alive.
Are you doing a monthly budget now?
I'm gonna start as soon as I pay this car.
No, you can start tonight. You start tonight when you get home. Go to Every Dollar and download the Every Dollar Budget app. It's free to start using. Or go do a Ramsey Plus trial for free, which is even better. You can get the Every Dollar Premium version to start your budget. All of that, and that'll make all the difference in the world. So you get that going, and then as a part of that, you put this $1,300 in there as a part of your income. You take your income and the $1,300, and that's what you have to operate your household with, and you pay off the car as fast as you can possibly pay it off, and then as soon as it's paid off, you save up and pay cash for something for the 16-year-old to drive. What year is this Beamer?
It's 2016.
And what do you make a year?
I make around 51 a year.
Yeah, and so this Beamer's worth what? I think it's worth 20 grand?
This one was 41, something like.
You don't give a 16-year-old a $41,000 car. They'll tear it up.
I feel like that because I was paying, basically using. Okay.
He needs. Has he worked at all and saved any money?
He wants to work, but he's only 15, so he cannot get a job.
He can cut grass.
Yeah.
He can walk dogs.
And the day before.
He can scoop up poop. They'll pay you for doing all that. He needs to make some money, and you can put some money with it, and let's get him a little $5,000 car. And you pay cash for it.
Okay.
And you drive the Beamer.
So you don't think that I should, as soon as I get this car, just sell it and then buy another one that is affordable, with that cash?
You could if you want to. If you want to sell it. But don't put a 16-year-old in a $20,000 car.
Okay.
I've had 16-year-olds. I've raised several of them. They don't drive well. They bump into stuff and tear it up. And, your first car... it just get something to get them around. They'll be proud of it. It'll be fine. And don't talk to me about it's not safe. It's safe. You're talking to a guy who used to sleep in the back window of the car, and they slam on the brake, and we'd roll down into the floor. So, and I survived it. At least some people think I did. We're not sure about the brain damage part, but anyway, yeah, no, hon, just get him a little car. And if you want to move down in car in your situation, you're welcome to. I don't care, but don't hand a 16-year-old, a 15-year-old keys to a $40,000 Beamer. No, bad plan. Chrissy is with us in Vegas. Hi, Chrissy. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave.
Hey, what's up?
How are you?
Good. How can I help?
Okay, so I'm on the collection portion of my debt snowball, and I just wanted to know how I'm supposed to tackle it, because none of these places are actually contacting me or anything. It's most of them are 2 years or more, so I only have their address, and then one of them is also an Amex that's not on my credit report anymore. So I just want to know how to tackle them, because I have all the money already to pay them.
Okay, good. And you don't have any debts that are active, only old debts that are in collection?
That's correct.
Okay. List them as best you understand the balances, smallest to largest. Contact the smallest one and find out what you can settle that for. Because you may think it's $1,000 and they may have run it up to $3,000, and you'll have to negotiate and get it back down to $1,000.
What if they don't have a number? It's only an address on the credit report.
You got to find them.
Gotcha.
Just jump online and start looking for a number. They're out there. They got a phone number.
Gotcha. Okay, and for the Amex that's not on my credit report anymore?
Same thing. It doesn't matter if it's on your credit bureau report or not. You still owe it.
Got it.
And they can still come sue you.
Got it.
So
All right.
so here's the rule, okay? Call them, and they're going to act like that. All of a sudden, they're going to get aggressive, which is humorous considering they haven't even contacted you in years, right? But they're all of a sudden going to go blah, 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 and you're going to go no. So it's not $1,000. It's $3,000 now. Well, I'm not paying $3,000. I have $1,000 that says you'll take it, and you negotiate with them, and they say, okay, we'll take $1,000. Then you have to get that in writing. Say in writing, Chrissy. Chrissy.
In writing.
In writing. If it's not in writing, it didn't happen. When you're dealing with collectors, you can tell they're lying if their mouth is moving. It's a scummy business.
Okay.
In
And then does it matter if it's,
writing,
like, on
and
a
then do
letterhead?
not give them electronic access to your regular checking account because they'll step in there and clean your butt out, okay?
Okay.
So you in writing, and you can do a wire transfer or a prepaid debit card or something else, but no electronic access to your checking account. Do not let them get into your account because they'll pull $3,000 out after you agreed to $1,000, and you're going to have trouble getting it back.
Right.
So in writing, no electronic access to checking account. How many of these debts are there?
Just 3, and it's actually 4, including Damex.
Okay,
so it's
good.
Not a whole lot.
Because it's going to be a hassle. It's not going to be It's not going to be like one phone call and it's done. You're going to have to argue with them and call them back and hang up on them, and they're going to call you, and it's just going to be a mess. Do not give them a bunch of information on you. Where do you work? None of your business. I'm here on the phone trying to give you money. That's all you need to know.
Got it.
And you listen, I know you're a sweet person. I can tell by talking to you. I need the not sweet version of you on the phone with them, okay?
Okay.
Because they're going to be nasty. Now, you don't have to be nasty, but I mean, you got to be tough. You with me?
Yes.
Okay. In writing, no electronic access to your checking account. That's how you do this stuff. And you settle this and you work it through. So good stuff. Well, that puts this particular hour of the Ramsey Show in the books. Our thanks to James Childs, our producer, Kelly Daniel, our associate producer and phone screener. I am Dave Ramsey, your host. We'll be back with you before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus. Have a friend or family member that needs a daily dose of Ramsey advice in their life? Let them know about the Ramsey Call of the Day podcast. It's a quick hit of advice about life and money in under 10 minutes. Check out the Ramsey Call of the Day podcast wherever you listen to podcasts.